What's up, people? It is me, Monster58. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Previously, we ended up beating Koga at Fuchsia City Gym, and we also ended up exploring Fuchsia City. Ended up getting our last two secret techniques, both Strong Push as well as Sea Skim, which are the replacements for Strength and Surf, respectively. And so now that we have access to essentially Surf, I'd like to go back to a couple of the routes, in particular Route 12, because you can Sea Skim on Route 12. And the thing about sea skimming is there are, in particular, at least of the encounters that I looked up and have seen, there's essentially two new encounters. Well, technically like 3 or 4, but they're just evolutionary line Pokemon. So, one of the Pokemon you can catch is Tentacool. Tentacool is a poison and water type, and the nice thing about Tentacool is that Tentacool and its evolution Tentacruel, which are just level evolutions, are very specially defensive. They're kind of like Lapras, very similar. Here's where we're going to use Sea Skim here. But they're very similar to Lapras, and what I like is that they are just bulky waters. Like, they're just bulky water types. You can see Tentacool out there. I think we'll go and grab one of these guys. While we're catching this guy, we'll talk about the other Pokemon that you can catch here. But what I like about them is that, especially being poison now, having much more value because Fairy is obviously the strongest type in the entire game, it is nice to see a Pokemon that can still sort of withstand the test of time. It doesn't do anything crazy. Oh! Please. Goodness. This withstood the test of time. Nice to see a Pokemon like this. It doesn't do anything special, is what I was trying to say, but it does exactly what it needs to do and pretty correctly at that. I don't think it's a reliable way of recovery, which is a bit unfortunate, but for the most part, it's still really nice. Being part poison allows it to hold the black sludge, which is really cool. So, Tentacle's data will be added to the Pokedex. It can sometimes be found all dry and shriveled up on the beach. Toss it back into the sea to revive it. I don't like to imagine that. I really don't. So we're going to be using it here, because guess what? There's another Pokemon right over here that we can catch. So this is Seadra, and its pre-evolution Horsea. So Seadra, it will evolve into a very fun Pokemon called Kingdra, which is a Dragon Water type, and it's much more offensive. It's okay bulky-wise, especially because of its typing. But you need a deep sea scale to evolve it into Kingdra, and you have to trade for it. So there's no way to do that here in this game, like without getting a Kingdra without actually trading for it, if I'm not mistaken. Touching the back fin causes numbness. It hooks its tail to coral spray and to coral to stay in place while sleeping. But yeah, the horsey, the seahorse Pokemon, they're pretty cool. And the of course, you can catch Magikarp here as well. But just might as well catch one for screwed sake. God, what was I trying to say? The Seadra Horsey family in general, they're pretty fun. I've enjoyed using Kingdra before. It's definitely fallen off over the years due to power creep, but at the end of the day, it's still a fun Pokemon to use. Decently offensive, Hydro Pumps, Dragon Pulse, moves like that, special, Dragon type moves, special Water type moves are very nice to use on it. Although you can finally get this item, which is nice. No, not right now. We got TM24 X's, which is a fantastic move. I'm actually, you know what? I think we got a Pokemon that can learn that, and I think I know exactly which one. Where the heck is he? Right down here. Very nice. And the reason we're going to teach Betsy this is because it'll help shore up those grass type weaknesses. So, instead of Protect, we're going to teach X's, or I don't need Protect, haven't used it in a while, so... Very nice. I got X's on Betsy to help, help with those grass type weaknesses, the grass type weakness in general. So, but yeah, Horsey, Seadra, Kingdra, they're fun Pokemon to use. I enjoy using Kingdra. Again, not the best, especially nowadays in 2025, but at the end of the day, still fun Pokemon to use for like single player and stuff. I just want to see if there's any other like island like that where there's something we could miss, but I don't think there is. I could be totally wrong, so... 13... Just keep going here. Yeah, there's a Horsey right there. Let's run into the Horsey real quick. We'll catch this thing real quick. Very nice. Got the Horsey. Alright, let's see what it says. Pokedex entry rise. Horse is able to add to the Pokedex. If it senses any danger, it will vigorously spray water of a special type of ink from its mouth. So yeah, it's kind of also like a squid, as well. If you see it in the anime, you'll see what I mean. It definitely sprays ink like a squid would, right? So that's pretty interesting. But very cute Pokemon, very, very adorable. I actually have a little horsey figure that I used to display like around during like the summertime. It's very much a seafaring Pokemon like that. I feel is a very summery Pokemon. But that's really about it for this area of sea skimming. From here, there's not really much else to go to. The only other route is we're going to head to Route 18 because we are going to sea skim there as well, and then we will head back to Fuchsia City. We'll head back there now to get to Route 18 quicker, but we'll head to Fuchsia City after that so that we can go to Route 19 and we'll start making our way towards the Seafoam Islands and whatnot. So, alright, let's head towards Route 18. I'll tell you right now, though, as we head towards Route 19 after this, just to get ahead of the game, in Route 19, there's also a couple new Pokemon that you can encounter there. We'll definitely encounter them more than likely as we're going through. You can actually encounter Staryu as well as its evolution Starmie. Here is both, by the way, on Route 18 is the same. You can only encounter Tentacool and Tentacruel, I believe, Horsey and Seadra as well. Those are the major, and obviously Magikarp. But before I was really interrupted by the Magikarp and the Tentacool, you can catch Staryu and Starmie in Route 19. I just wanted to see if there was anything notable here. I guess there really isn't even anything notable here. I guess I just probably didn't even need to bother to cut that out. I probably did end up cutting out in the main video. But yeah, that's the extent of sea skimming there. I guess I was really stupid in the past couple episodes thinking that I couldn't get to Fuchsia City via Route 18. So, now it's time to head down to Route 18. What we're going to do here, though, is we're going to swap Pikachu to the front because we're going to be fighting mostly water-type Pokemon because guess what? We're going to be going into the sea here. It's best to keep Pikachu out front and just absolutely annihilate everything. So, got a couple of swimmers here that we have to fight, but that's alright. But I guess I can take this battle time to just talk about like Staryu and Starmie. So the nice thing about a Starmie is that if you catch a Starmie, of course it's Dratini. But if you catch a Starmie, it is very fast and hits really hard. The only issue I have with Starmie is that it's very frail. The other thing is that it has a plethora of weaknesses when it adds that psychic typing. It doesn't take away anything from water, and it doesn't add anything to it in terms of defensive capability, so you're more or less just adding weaknesses. But that does mean you get access to, like Psychic and whatnot, other moves in that caliber, so it's nice to have that. But at the end of the day, the Psychic type, despite its benefits, I think more ends up being a hindrance for Starmie, because it's already so frail, and adding just so many weaknesses just exasperates the frailty of Starmie. Even though I do like Starmie a lot, at the end of the day, yeah, that is a bit of a shame for it. Speaking of Starmie, that guy had a Starmie, which was pretty funny. Alrighty. That's really cool how, by the way, I like the idea of, the little nod that they have to the original game with Surfing Pikachu, right? Like, I like the fact that you're on, a surfboard. I think that's really funny. We got a couple of swimmers here. I'll knock both of these guys out, both of them out, and then we'll come back to the route. Alrighty, those two have been taken out. Nothing too crazy there. Alright, let's keep it moving here. There's really not much of this way because this is where the edge of the route is. We'll keep going a little bit down here, though. Got another swimmer up there. Another swimmer. Man, there's a bunch of swimmers here. Take this guy on real quick, then. Alright, you got a couple more swimmers down. Oh, actually, real quick, let me go catch a Staryu. Come here, you starfish. Alrighty, we got Staryu. So let's see Staryu. As long as the center section is unharmed, this Pokemon can grow back fully even if it's chopped to bits. Just like a regular starfish, or most regular starfish are. They can usually, they can regenerate their limbs. Very similar to an axolotl. Axolotl as well. Goodness, I keep getting interrupted by stupid Pokemon. They're kind of hard to see. Alright. We'll take on these two swimmers here, and I'll cut back. Alrighty, we got another swimmer here. I think he's gotta be, if I'm not mistaken, this guy's probably one of our last of the trainers? Can't exactly remember. Alrighty, with that taken care of, we can now... Oh, a Tentacruel, come here, buddy. We'll catch this guy. Pokemon that I've used a fair amount of times. Very nice, we got the Tentacruel. Okay, now let's see. Nice, Gen's level 50, that's sick. Gotta see... the Pokedex entry. It's 80. Tentacles can stretch and contract freely. They wrap around prey and weaken it with poison. That's... I don't know if any of that. One thing I'm gonna do that I noticed is I'm gonna actually probably give a rare candy to, Bubby here because... yeah, he's like one level behind. Same thing with Harvey here. I'll give one to Harvey as well. Is that... I thought we had more than one rare candy. Ah, whatever. I guess we don't. That's fine. Okay, now we can move towards this way. I don't think there's much left here. I believe we are now considered on Route 20 right here. Yes, we are. Okay, so... gonna take on some more trainers here because this is mainly our next destination. The Seafoam Islands are quiet getaway. I'm vacationing here, and that's our next destination. So there's a fair bit of trainers around this area real quick, and I'll take them all on, and we'll basically end off the episode. What I'm going to end off the episode with, by the way, is going to be basically me buying a ton of Pokeballs, and you'll see why. The Seafoam Islands will be taken care of in the next episode, but we're just going to be mainly taking care of these battles out here, just not wasting XP or anything like that. Just getting rid of all these trainers where we have the opportunity to, so. While we're out here, I will say there is one Pokemon that you can catch here and a special spawn, and that's going to be Lapras as well. So if you didn't get the Lapras or the gift Lapras, then you can get one here. Let's see, if we go up. I might have to end up going this way. Might end up having to make landfall too. Yep, so this is the entrance to the Seafoam Islands. We'll be taking that on soon enough. Was she... hello, it's your friendly potion delivery service. Oh, thank you for the health. Very nice to get a free heal there, so... we're gonna head down this way. Wait, no, I can't see skim that way. Oh, whoa, I forgot to mention also Gyarados. We might as well catch one. That's a Pokemon I should probably catch anyway. Oh, I didn't read the stupid Pokedex entry for Gyarados, but we were able to catch a Gyarados, so that's nice. The one thing I've realized about this is we will need to actually go through the Seafoam Islands to be able to actually get to the other half of the route. So we won't be taking on all the trainers. We were able to take on one at the very least, though. So the Seafoam Islands. This is our next major destination. Now I know that this episode is probably mega short. I guarantee you it is, but I really don't want to take on the Seafoam Islands in this episode because I want to save them entirely for the following episode. The main thing we're going to do, actually, I guess to help extend the length because I do feel really bad, we're going to go and we are going to fly all the way back. Pikachu looks nice and ready to fight there. What we're going to do is we're going to fly back to Fuchsia City. And the main thing we're going to do is buy some stuff because we need to prepare for the upcoming dungeon here. Very important dungeon of this game, so we want to get ourselves prepared for it. So Head up here, and we're gonna head to the Pokemon. Now, this is also one thing I haven't shown in a while, but now you can buy Ultra Balls and stuff like that. You can buy a lot of cool stuff here. So, let's go and I think we're good on Pokeballs. I think Great Balls, you could buy like 12 more. Yep. And then buy. No. I want to buy. If I could. Hello. Yeah, just have 50 on this. I think that'll be really nice. And then we'll get Premier Ball. But I would also like to grab some Hyper Potions because we don't have many of those. Now, not one. We'll grab 10. 8, so we have 10. I think for Max Potions, we'll grab 5 of these. I'm just having these just so that we have these on hand. And then Super Potions, we'll grab 15 more of these. And I think we're good on regular potions, so I think we're good on that stuff. Alright. Okay, with that, we are now prepared to head into the Seafoam Islands. I would recommend buying this amount of stuff and just getting healing items, just being prepared. It's not that it's a long and arduous dungeon. It's more of what lies at the end of said dungeon, of said cave, of said island that we're going to need to worry about. That's what we will actually have to worry about. So we're going to head down this way. We're going to head back towards the Seafoam Islands because that is our final destination for this episode, and we will be taking them on next episode. So, alright, let's head there. I will say, though, I really do like how the water looks in this. Like, it looks really, really pretty. I like this route. I like the routes in general. And again, the Surfing Pikachu is really, really funny to have as a reference here. But nice that you get the heal right there. That's pretty cool. Alrighty, so let's real quick head into the Seafoam Islands so you guys can see what this place is like. So, as you can see, there's some new Pokemon in here. There's definitely going to be some battles and such. We're going to have to run into a lot of stuff. And so, next time on Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, we'll be headed into the Seafoam Islands here. And we'll be continuing our adventure and seeing what lies at the end of this very, very cold-looking dungeon. So, we hope you guys look forward to that. So, sorry for this short episode, but what are you going to do? I don't want to take this whole dungeon on today because of what lies at the end of it. So, I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Also, follow me on the socials. Those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this episode, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lives.